Deepest secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from defenders to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a lot threat. You keep the medals cause the right one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface. Still they try to drag my name in dirt, they try to bring me down. See me winning, you ain't like me then.
Yo, what's good, my nephews and nieces? This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you, all right? Now listen, before we get too far in this video, you know exactly what you need to do. Make sure you drop a like, and let's get this video to at least 1,000 likes. That'll definitely push the video to the recommended. And furthermore, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. I'm by far the hardest working YouTuber in the 2K community, and hopefully you can appreciate the 9 a.m. and the 5 p.m. daily uploads, and you can show that appreciation by dropping a like and subscribing, all right? So now let's just jump right into it. Today, we're gonna be doing what I consider my most favorite category, and that's defense. And again, they did a complete revamp, man. Thank you, 2K, for this. The first thing I want to talk about in the defensive gameplay is that now the shot defense has been completely redone. So beforehand, what they did was they basically looked at 2 points. This, the defender, when the shot started, so where the proximity of the ball was at when it was released, and also the location of the defender. But the thing is with that, it was that usually just because the person could be right there in front of you, sometimes it did not register as an actual contest. And a lot of people knew that. There was a lot of ghost contests. There were a lot of contests that felt like that should not have been contested that was contested, and then ones that was contested that shouldn't have. So there was just a lot of confusion about that. So what 2K did this year, as you see right here, they created a system that evaluates the defensive player's contesting hand throughout a window of the shooting motion, right? The large sample set provides way more accurate results and helps line up the coverage numbers to what players expect based on what they see happening on screen. And again, that's the key point. What's happening on screen? What are we visually seeing? So again, remember those ghost contests I was just talking about? Well, now that is supposed to eliminate that. So theoretically, we should not see any ghost contests. Theoretically, if it looked like your hand was there and it should have been contested, it should have been contested. And then again, if it looked like a defender was there and he was on you with his hand up and it was good coverage, you should get some really good coverage numbers and not get like 15%, right? It should be, 50, 60, 70% contest. So that is going to be really, really huge, all right? So now we're going to be looking at on-ball defense. This is very, very, very big to me, man. We knew how bad it was this year for on-ball defense to try to get body ups. The left-right was just so hard to contain. So now, again, the body ups receive a major refresh with new content that more accurately depicts today's one-on-one player interactions. You'll also notice a new indicator on the ball handler when guarding the position. This is the new defensive shading mechanic. The 3 bars on the indicator represent 3 zones: straight up, shade left, and shade right. The zone the defender is shown is in red. If the ball handler attempts to attack a red lane, they get cut off, lose their dribble, or fumble the ball. That's very important. So basically, this is going to be the cat and mouse game that I was talking about. If a defender runs into the corner, which they always did in 22, and then they decide to try to run back to the elbow at the top of the key, and you knew locks who were always there. Well, guess what? Now, that's going to be a red indicator, right? That's going to be shaded red. So if a guard runs into that area again when you're there, he is either, supposedly, theoretically, they're going to get cut off, lose their dribble, or fumble the ball. That's going to be huge. The same thing if they're at the top of the key and they want to try to go to the left, and you shade to the left right when he's trying to go to the left, he should theoretically get cut off, lose their dribble, or fumble the ball. I think this is going to be amazing. Next, we're going to be looking at shot blocking. Shot blocking is going to be very, very important in 23. Again, trying to stick with being realistic, being authentic. We knew how it was, very unrealistic and unauthentic it was in 22. So again, for 2K23, blocks have been turned to a more realistic level, leading to more predictable outcomes with the right players making appropriate stops when timing their blocks attempts well. No more small guards pulling off LeBron James level chase down blocks like last year. You'll also notice a distinct improvement in ball security for good dunkers. I think this is so important. There's nothing more frustrating than little guards getting blocks on bigger guys. But then again, on the flip side, there's nothing more demoralizing when you know you have all this interior defense and then you have individuals that just go under the basket and they score. So making this seem more realistic, I definitely am 100% going to be looking at this to see if this is going to be what they're talking about, because this is going to be extremely huge for the defensive community, but just for 2K and whole to get that true balance. Now, the next thing, still when we're talking about shot blocking, is going to be now the availability to open up your dunk animations. We all knew that quick drops, Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexler, front clutches, and Kratos were like the only dunk attempts you saw in the comp community. Why? Because we all knew back scratchers got blocked. Well, guess what? Now they're saying that that is not going to be the case. So it says, in the past, it was risky trying to pull off tomahawks, back scratchers with defenders even remotely nearby, which is so true. We made some changes to encourage good dunkers to use a greater repertoire of their dunk packages. Fill the reward of highlight real dunks with significant takeover boosts in the right situations without fear of always getting the ball knocked out of the way. The shot blocking systems now contains flyby blocks. When closing out late on perimeter shooters, the flybys will do a better job trying to get a hand up while preventing defenders from slamming into the shooter and sending them to the line. This is a lot right there to digest, because first they're talking about dunking, but then they're talking about the shot block systems for flyby blocks. That's something that is very, 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 very important. You're going to get flyby block animations on the perimeter. So if you're closing out and you're able to jump and get a flyby block, you're not having to worry about getting a foul. It's going to be more realistic. Like, that is a lot to break down. But again, oh my God, if they pull this out together, if they pull this off, this is going to be one of the greatest defensive games and balance games that we're going to see in 2K. Now we're going to look at steals and ball strips. Okay, so now ball strips is something that in 22 I felt like definitely needed to get a revamp. It was just very touch and go with that. You really didn't utilize that ball stripper badge because there really wasn't much benefit behind it. But at the same time, you need it as a slasher or a finisher that at least have unstrippable on bronze. It just didn't make a lot of sense. It was very confusing. So to see them actually fix this up is going to be pretty dope. It said that ball strips are new and improved this year with tons of new content and better coverage. So if you're a smaller defender with quick hands, you can be just as effective in slowing down slashers and bigs in the paint as good as a shot blocker. Now, maybe that might be the good thing about it, because you know how post scorers, the only way you really could, stop a post scorer was trying to pull the chair. So maybe now that would be dope, because we all know if you have a high ball steal and you're getting posted up, I'm like, yo, like I should be able to rip this dude, right? So maybe that will be what they're talking about also, because I'm thinking more so post scores, because we hate that. But it also would be dope also to see what it's like when a slasher's coming to the paint and you're able to spam square too. That's gonna be pretty toxic. And then also at the bottom you'll see it says when the ball does get knocked loose by a block or steal, you'll see greatly improved sideline awareness during scramble plays, right? Pickups near the out of bounds lines are much more reliable, as are driving ball saves that throw the ball back into play. I've seen some amazing 50-50 ball saves that will make Dennis Rodman, Alex Caruso proud. So I think that's going to be pretty dope. I know for a fact that if you're going to be able to get some dope save animations, people are going to go crazy because you can make some really good highlight plays. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And last but not least, let's talk about these badges, okay? So obviously 2K decided to revamp all the badges, and it's no different when it comes to the defensive side. As you see, the first badge is called Anchor, a crucial badge for last line of defensive bigs, improves ability to block and contest shots in the paint. This will actually replace Intimidator. So Anchor is now being replaced with Intimidator. Then you have Box Out Beast, would help rebounders win box out battles on offensive and defensive rebounding situations. So obviously, I guess that replaced Box Out. They just kind of changed the name. So Anchor and Box Out, they've been changed as far as names, but they kind of have the same purposes as the badges they did replace. Then you have Workhorse, which again, that Pat Bev badge that boosts your ability to hustle down 50-50 balls and play hard-nosed defense without getting tired. Obviously, that goes with the Hustler badge. But I'm guessing Workhorse will have more of a, prominent use, because remember, we just spoke on the fact that there is animations of getting chased down, running out of bounds and getting these animations. So maybe the higher your badges is, maybe you're able to get some doper animations. Then you got Glove, named after the legendary defender Gary Payton. helps you strip players as they gather for shots and poke the ball free from ball handlers. We already know that replaces pickpocket. Challenger improves the effectiveness of perimeter shot contests. Remember, that used to be, well, that's a new badge, but there was a takeover badge that did perimeter contests that heighten your perimeter contest, and I use that as my primary. A lot of people use clamps. I actually use that takeover. So now that's pretty dope to be able to have this challenger badge, and hopefully they still have that takeover too, because that will be really good, because we know a lot of guards want to try to shoot perimeter shots, and as a lockdown, we're trying to prevent those threes, and really, if anything, just give up twos. But anyway, that is basically it. Mike Wang did not have any tweets that I felt like was needed to be put on here. So other than that, this is your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon on the banger. And you know, when I say back soon on the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.